Batman could be anybody.
No, Brucey, not anybody. Let's start with the fact that he's 6'2" and 210 pounds in the comics. But that's fine. It's not a big deal, for as we know, height and build make absolutely zero difference in hand-to-hand combat. Everyone knows Kevin Hart could take on The Rock without getting his sternum punched through his ass. You know, if he wanted to. Batman is beloved by many, myself included, and you see so many people online mention that the reason why Batman is special is exactly this erroneous idea that anyone could be Batman. For Batman lacks conventional superpowers. No superpowers, you say. His IQ is 192. He puts motherfucking Einstein to shame. He has a photographic memory. I can barely recall what I had for breakfast a day ago, or if I even had breakfast, whereas he can probably recall Orgasm 197 with pixel-level precision. One of many perks of being the Batman. Saying that Bruce has no superpowers, or that he's normal, or that he's the everyman, or any variation of those, is like saying you could replace Tony Stark with any average Joe, trap them in that cave with terrorists, and expect them to feasibly hatch and execute the same escape plan. Speaking of House Stark, it always struck me as amusing how people find Batman to be the singular superhero with no superpowers, yet Tony Stark never gets the same treatment, probably because he wears his super intelligence on his sleeve in a form that's so tangible, like his super suit. When super intelligence is expressed by way of a flashy, outrageously high-tech suit, people don't even think to label you as normal. Yet when your intelligence is expressed in more subtle ways, your overall baggage of abilities being a bit more understated, people treat you like a normie. I mean, when all people see is a batarang, a rope, and a cape, they tend to dismiss your plus 204 bonus to intelligence. And sadly, even if Batman were to suddenly produce a rocket booster out of his ass, people would just say, oh, well, he bought it. Cause he's rich. And not to belabor the Iron Man comparison, but Tony Stark also bought his tech, technically speaking. But because they remind us over and over again that he's a genius mechanic who can build all this stuff himself, we stop to see him as normal. It's not like Bruce doesn't understand his own tech, he just happens to have a dedicated techie because he has other things to do. And come to think of it, the techie doesn't build it on his own either, he just buys it off of Amazon. And then there's the elephant argument in the room. Money. Money, 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 money. Bruce Wayne doesn't just choose to be Batman, he has the luxury of even trying to be something like Batman. It's basically like if the physical manifestation of money one day suddenly decided to have a kid and name that kid Bruce. He can quite literally afford to be Batman. You and I, on the other hand, the best you and I can hope for is to be more of a Catwoman without the sex appeal and with some still pretty decent morals. Anyway, my point is that Bruce Wayne might as well have been genetically designed to be Batman, for no other human being is fast enough, strong enough, tall enough, pretty enough, rich enough, or indeed intelligent enough, not even his superhero counterparts, because the number of times they, with all their power, impotently scratch their heads in situations of great crisis and look to Brucey boy to make things right is staggering. But more importantly, I don't think that should be the point of Batman, because let's face it, you could dedicate your entire life to fighting crime and you wouldn't have nearly as much impact as Bruce Wayne. Not even close. No, the point is to show just how much of an impact the right person can make, if they choose to. Yes, he's meant to inspire the little guy too, and be a good blue-collar worker and don't kick your colleague into the smelting pot when he annoys you is a good work slogan, don't get me wrong, but I think Batman's also meant to inspire the high society. He's meant to inspire key figures in our society who have the biggest potential to affect change, which is a shame because I feel like these are the people most likely to dismiss a cartoony depiction of a guy roaming the rooftops with his underpants on his pants. But if you are a privileged member of society and you choose to ignore your spouse, your family, your lawyers, your financial advisors, your company, your investors, the media, the world at large, and the law in order to, in spite of all of them, do the right thing, that's when things start to change. And if multiple such privileged people did so in tandem, well, perhaps we'd be living in less shitty of a world, I don't know. Though probably not. So no, not everyone can be Batman. However, it's impressive how many mountains one can move when the right person chooses to be Batman.